All right, we usually talk about a topic a week that I just think is more of the broad spectrum of things, and I'm going to put this out there very discreetly. What the fuck is the Olympics thinking? For those that don't know, the Olympics have decided to officially be like esports. We're about it. And that the E time put in, that's a direct quote, needs to be valued. And they decided to, I don't know how, decide to consult with the person who's the most out of touch ever. And I've got like theory crafting going on, Sean. I don't know if they did this on purpose because all the big wigs and stuff and the Botox ladies on news that are like esports is addictive as heroin and all this other stupid shit that they say. I'm heated about this, by the way. But like,
I can tell.
Oh God, it drives me nuts because we've done this. Like we had the Intel World Open. It was a $250,000 prize pool for Rocket League. It was going to introduce into the Olympic ceremony. Like they were going to do this and it was going to be awesome. They had Rocket League and Street Fighter. Unfortunately, COVID happened. They ended up doing all the qualifiers locally in local regionals and it fell apart. And that should have been the introduction into the Olympics. It would have been amazing. But instead, I feel like and this is just my theory, that they are doing this almost on purpose. They hired a consultant and they're going to be like, how can we make this as poorly received as possible? Which to me kind of goes in two different directions. Number one, why do we care? Why do we continue to try to adhere to traditional sports? The reality of it is we need them to be successful. The more it takes traditional and the more mainstream gets a part of it, the more money, sponsorship, eyes, viewership, all the stuff that allows us to sustain ourselves. But at the same time, I look at the opposite side, and I've had this. I mean, Sean, you were there at that panel at the Milwaukee Esports event a year ago, where I talked about why do we adhere? Why do we care? We have proven that we can be successful without them, so why do we continue to fall to their norms? Why don't we innovate and lead the charge rather than basically handicapping ourselves to adhere to what they want? So that's kind of my frustration about it, but it gets worse. They put out a post saying which virtual sports and games feature in the Olympic Esports Series of 2023. The confirmed games come across 9 titles. Tic-Tac-Bow, which is an archery game on iPad that isn't even released to the public yet. It has not been public. You're competing for a gold medal in the Olympics, and you are gatekeeping on one platform in a game that people can't even practice right now. They've got baseball, which is basically like Wii Baseball. Chess I think is actually a good pick. You've got cycling, which again you need a specific Z-Swift thing to use. Just Dance. Motorsport with Gran Turismo. Cool, but there's so many better options for sim racing, like the actual sim racing ones they use in sim racing leagues. It just gets worse. They have sailing, virtual regatta, tennis clash, and then taekwondo, virtual taekwondo. Those are your 9 games for the Olympic esports events, and not a single one of them are an esport. Not one.
They're trying to emulate the Olympic sports.
Which, again, you guys have already admitted that it is a virtual sport. It is electronic sports. And there has been leagues for the past 3 decades that showcase what electronic sports do. Ones that pull viewership, ones that have professional teams with a ton of money involved. There is a reason why this industry is projected to make $2.2 billion this year, despite a recession. And you guys are like, or we could go with chess, bow, virtual regatta, tennis, clash, boxing, taekwondo. Like, I don't understand. I mean, I do. And my theory, like I said, is that they're trying to do it as poorly as possible to make sure that they never have to adhere to it again. I do feel for some reason in my bones that it's like, it is old mentality, it is old money that is like, we don't want esports to overtake or be part of live TV, even though everything points to live TV dying and that everything has gone online and you guys still don't accommodate. So it's like we are trying to innovate and make the experience and entertainment process better, yet you continue to hold us back in every capacity. So it really does feel like, you know what, we are trying to make it as similar as possible to adhere to the people, but you've already stated that it is different. It's separate. It is a unique thing. It's like when ESPN Esports was cut because Disney lost money for the first time in 60 years and then fired all their top journalists. They killed all their programs that were successful. And then instead of doubling down on the one thing that was able to persist and immediately transition online easily, they just did nothing because sports couldn't run because of a global pandemic. Good job, Disney. Like, to us, it's so easy and understandable. And it's like, yes, this makes sense. And we're not just saying that from like selfish and biased perspective. there is proof in the pudding. The money is there and it's happening, and you have a way to take your knowledge and experiences of things that you've looked in the past 105 years of the NFL. There is things that you could take from those, the way that you do partnerships, the way that you integrate those things, and apply them to esports and make it explode. And the first one who does it is going to benefit the most. And then instead, you guys go tic-tac-toe. The Olympic esports is going to be a crapshoot, and the reason I know this is because Rocket League Pro Rise literally ratioed the tweet. The tweet came out, it had like 3,000 likes, and Rise said something along the lines of like ratio plus sad or ratio or something. Like he was just like, this is depressing, I know this is going to happen. You want people to watch and tune into your platform, watch the Olympics, support the Olympics and this and that. Let's bring in this young demographic, the kids that are the ones that we are losing, and this is how you respond. Hire me as a consultant, or literally anyone, and we will at least be like Counter-Strike, League of Legends, Rocket League, Street Fighter. I mean, shit, fucking Dragon Ball Z, Tenkaichi or whatever the fuck they call it. I don't know how to say it. 4 comes out. They just announced that. Go with that. Anything like that would be even better. And at least like...
How about Fall Guys?
Anything.
Would be better.
Literally any video game that's not these. Like, I think chess is awesome. I think chess is a phenomenal option.
Classic.
It's a classic. Like chess, if it's considered a sport, it is also something that is done online, and chess has blown up in the past year. I love that. Just Dance, I think, is still kind of cool. I don't think it's an esport, though. I think it's a fun game to play at home and, you know, stay active. But again, that's just my opinion. But I know for a fact, it sure as fuck ain't cycling or sailing or tennis virtually. Like, oh God. I'm going to cut out so much of this in the edit, but like, oh, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Either way, Olympic esports is a fucking joke. We all know that. You can go look at all the replies, and I don't envy the social media guy. Like, you know when you call into a customer service thing for your internet when it sucks? That customer support person isn't the one who's screwing you over. They're the messenger. I feel so bad for the social media guy who had to make that post. He probably knows a little bit because he works on social media, but he's just like, send. Olympic Esports Series 2020, it doesn't even fucking matter. It doesn't matter. No one's gonna watch that shit. I'm gonna hate editing that. All right, let's rip on the fucking Olympics.